Good morning, everybody. We're live here on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. The main question is, how will a minority government with the Liberals, which is, I guess, if you're not sure about how Canadian politics works, I'm no expert, but we've got several major political parties like the Liberals, which you could consider like the Democrats in Canada. We've got the Conservatives. They're not as hardcore as the Republicans in the US. And we have the NDP and Green Party and Bloc Québécois, and especially the People's Party, which are more extreme. So what will happen is that right now the Liberal government has a minority government that they've won in this election that just finished as of September 21st to 2021. The Conservatives have won a lot of seats. So what does this mean for you? If you're inside or outside of Canada, you're looking at immigration to Canada for yourself or for your family or friends or relatives, right? So the point is, whatever you can apply, you should apply soon. Why? Is because in the long run, the Liberals may lose more power to the Conservatives. The Conservatives are good. I don't take sides, by the way. I'm not a Liberal. I'm not a Conservative. I'm myself not an NDP, not a Bloc Québécois or People's Party. All the Liberals, Barinder Singh is asking in the YouTube video, yeah, the Liberals have re-won, but it's a minority government. They were trying to push for a majority, but it backfired. So that's like a 2-second analysis of what happened. So the Conservatives are gaining more momentum. And in the next election, who knows when, 2, 3, 4 years, whenever, the Conservatives may even win more because the economy may stagnate. Okay, so if anybody in the future, in 3, 4 years, you're watching this video, you can attest to the fact that we are expecting higher interest rates, we are expecting higher taxes, and that will push people to vote for other parties, and the other parties will gain. And they are not as pro-immigration. So if you're listening to this, that's the key point. The immigration in the next elections will definitely be affected. Right now, it will be stagnant. So what does that mean for people who are planning to apply for themselves? If you're inside of Canada trying to sponsor your parents, right, or other family members who are planning to come over, you've got siblings that want to come and study. You want to help them out to apply for PR later on when they come here as an international student. This means that whatever you do it now, okay? Because the right now with the minority government, that means they can't push a lot of major changes. They can make slight changes to the immigration policies, but they're not going to revamp and change everything completely, right? So they will still try to target 1 million newcomers in 3 years, I believe, right? That's right. And the programs that we have in place will probably stay. So whether they're good or bad, these programs will probably stay. Not a lot of major changes. Maybe the startup visa program could change. Not close, but change. But what this whole thing means is that whatever you can do to bring yourselves, your family into Canada, you do it in the next couple of years. You don't wait for the next government in 3, 4, 5 years, because the next government may not be Liberal. They may not be pro-immigration. The most pro-immigration government in Canada are the Liberals. That's the political party that is now a minority government. They have been in power for a while now, since Justin Trudeau. Again, I'm not siding with anybody here. I have no political affiliations. I'm just telling everybody who's watching this video what to expect. Right now, don't expect any major changes. It is what it is. In the future, if the Liberals lose the next election, then goodbye easy immigration. And if you think it's not easy now, wait till the Conservatives are in place. It's not going to be a walk in the park anymore. There's going to be no TR to PRs. There's not going to be, all these opportunities and all these higher targets of newcomers, like 1 million per year for 3 years, right? So right now, we've said that. You can watch the elections. It's pretty clear now the Liberals have the minority government. But remember, whatever you want to do for Canada, you do it now. That's the main thing you take away from this session. Okay, don't wait for 3 years from now. You apply now, you come in, you do what you need to do. International students, international workers, business investments, startup visa, family sponsorships. Okay, you do it now before, excuse my French, but beep hits the fan. Beep, can't say it out loud because we're live here on 3 platforms. So we've got a question on our YouTube. It says by Shrishti Srivastava is asking, hi, after receiving an ITA for express entry, which is an invitation to apply, by the way, for everybody watching, I submitted all my documents to IRCC on February 2021. How long will you think IRCC will take to get my application? If you're outside of Canada, it could take way longer. You could be looking at, next year. If you were inside of Canada, typically 3 to 6 months in normal situation. If your documents were in order, they were all correct, and you don't have any security issues that they're checking. Like, security issues means you've traveled to a lot of high-risk countries throughout your, last 10 years. So they do more extensive security checks. But if you're outside of Canada, don't expect any traction until next year. Okay. So we've got some questions on Facebook, some questions here on Instagram. So we're going to go back and forth, everybody. So Anusha Nasim is asking, what is the processing time for inland CEC express entry, which is the Canadian experience class? My friend who applied 10 days later got PR, but I haven't heard yet. Yeah, 10 days is not, I don't believe that's an actual processing time. The earliest we've heard is 2-3 months, and the latest is 6 months, unless there's document issues or some application issues that you have. We have another, so I hope I've answered that. My friend applied 10 later, got PR, I'm still waiting. Yeah, expect 3 to 6 months. So it could be 2-3 months, max 6 months. Aman Sharma on our YouTube is asking a question. Then we'll jump onto Facebook. I'm 38, post-grad, looking for academic prospect in university. Any advice on immigration for professors? Okay, so you've got your postgraduate, you are, I guess, teaching at a university. I would say upgrade your skills. Finding a job as a professor, instructor in Canada is difficult. I don't want to say impossible, it's just extremely difficult, especially if you're, I don't know if you're inside of Canada or outside. So I would say career change, upgrade your skills here in a an upgrade educational program, and then look for opportunities. Looking to be hired as a university professor, literally impossible. So there's like 1,000 applicants per position. Okay, so don't think about that. Look at a quick career change. Look at maybe not doing university. I would say just look at something else. Don't go into teaching at university. That's not going to happen. If you're inside of Canada, there's more opportunity. If you're outside, first come in on a master's or PhD, and then figure it out and become a PR. Then look at opportunities for jobs. So let's jump into Facebook here. So we got a bunch of questions. Mark Lawrence. Yeah, sorry about that. Mark Lawrence Simon. Hi, sir. How about the application? Too much delay. We're waiting too much. Yes. If you're outside of Canada, it's slow. Application processing is super slow. IRCC, which is the Canadian Immigration Department, does not have enough people and time and resources to process everything on time. Super slow. Probably next year, whatever you're looking for. Jose Barnes is asking on our Facebook, hey, how are you doing? I want to ask a question off topic. Okay, off topic. I applied online 1st March, did biometrics and passed medicals, been waiting 27 weeks for work permit from South Africa. I have worked for US, but they closed for South Africa now. Yes, unfortunately, work permits are about 8 months processing time. So That's close to what you've been waiting for. Just send a follow-up web form and you hopefully will get that. If anybody's joining us right now, we've already spoken about the Canadian elections and we're just answering questions. So if you still have questions about how this government or this new political structure, it's not very new, will affect immigration, just post a question and I'll answer it, or just watch our YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook and rewind and watch it anytime. So for Mark Lawrence, we are waiting almost 17 months. Well, there's an issue, Mark Lawrence. There's an issue. Well, it depends. If you're overseas and it's express entry, you're not going to be processed now. Maybe next year. Okay. So it depends on what program you've applied. Mary George on Facebook is asking, hello, sir. I've gotten my study permit approved for graduate program at McGill for January 2022 intake. I would like to travel along with my spouse and child by December. Is it better to option to apply for visitor visa for them from India? If you already have a study permit, then they would apply for visitor visas, right? Because they cannot apply for open work permit because you have not started studying yet. Okay, so you apply as accompanying visitor visas for them. Okay. Mark Lawrence, Simon, in TFW, my agency passed our application on April 1st, 2020. Until now, we're only waiting for decisions. Yes, a lot of work permit applications like yourself, Mark Lawrence, are stuck overseas. It's not happening. I'm not sure under which program you've applied, but it's not moving. Mary George is a follow-up question. Out of recent experience and visitor visa prioritized now, or is it delayed? It is delayed. Spouse open work permit processing time seems to be delayed. If you haven't started studying yet, your spouse is not going to have their open work permit process overseas because you're not here studying. And I don't want to travel leaving my child back in India. Visitor visa will take time, but as an accompanying, if you're applying together with your study permit, they'll make a quicker decision. If not, then it will take some time. Okay. So it's a matter of time. There's nothing much we can do about that. Okay. What do you mean, sir? Next year we'll process. It means this year overseas applications, Mark Lawrence, are very slow or not even being looked at or processed. Okay. So your only hope is probably by next year to get some traction. At the same time, maybe send some web forms to follow up. We're going to go back to YouTube. I'm grateful for your input. No problem. Ritu, yeah, so I'm on, just to refer back to your teaching at a university. I do have friends who are instructors and professors, and I know it's very difficult to find. Ritu on YouTube is asking us a question. Hi, I will be submitting a student visa application for January 2022 intake by end of October from India under SDS stream. Will I be able to receive a visa decision by December? Hopefully, but there's no guarantee, Ritu. The sooner you can apply, the better. So don't wait till October if you don't have to. If you don't have your letter of acceptance, then I guess you got to wait till October. As soon as you have it, make sure the rest of your documents are ready and you put in the application. It could be processed in a month. It could be processed in 2 weeks. It could be processed in 2 months. However, the sooner the better. Nobody at this point can guarantee that you will get your study permit by December. However, the sooner you apply, the better your chances. And they're going to prioritize applications for you. Okay, so if they see in your intake, so the way the government works, they've got these computer, softwares, OCRs, artificial intelligence. All the ones that have January intake will be prioritized. So they're going to push those up. They're going to start processing them faster. Right? So you do have a good chance as long as you apply on time. So imagine this. In May, they set a deadline for September intake application. So that means May to June, 1 month, July, August, September, right? So almost 4 months before September, they wanted study permit applicants to apply. So they have enough time to arrive in September to start. So if you can apply in September, way better. Worst case October, but it doesn't mean it's guaranteed that you will make it for December. Yeah, you're waiting for your POA from my university. Yeah, LOA. Olympia Amusa is asking on our YouTube, Please, can you reapply for your study permit if one defers an admission and changes their course? You can reapply. Yeah, so if you have already received a decision on a study permit application you have already submitted, yes, you can reapply. But if you have not received a decision, you cannot submit a second study permit application before your first one is either withdrawn or a decision has been made. Okay, so you have to be very careful about that. Going on our Instagram, no questions there. Well, there is a question, actually. There's a question. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so Uju, okay, this is a typical good official. Yeah, Uzu Zio good official. I just submitted my application this September. ND, my school will resume January, winter. Hope I'm not late in submitting ND when I'm experienced to issue a visa. Yeah, if you applied in September, it's pretty good for January. So you're relatively safe. As long as your application is correct, your documents, and you get accepted, then great, you're fine. If you're outside of Canada, if you're inside of Canada, they'll process you quite quickly if January is your intake. Going back to Facebook, Mark Lawrence is asking, what is your advice for this? Should our agency update the IRCC for our applications? Yeah, I mean, they have to follow up. They have to keep on sending web forms every 2 months, let's say. Okay. Should I, Mary George is asked, should I be applying the visitor visa under family reunion, or do we have any option to choose accompanying? If, well, you can do accompanying, but I assume you already have your study permit, right? It would have been better, I mean, in certain situations, not all, you apply together because their visitor visas would have been decided quicker. But again, in some situations, it may lead to a refusal because they see the whole family coming. So it's a sensitive subject. You can message us. Could you suggest me any pointers to make my application strong? Mary George, I mean, to be honest with you, it's very specific because I don't have all the details of your application in front of us. That's a very detailed conversation. In general, apply and make sure your employment, ties to home country, financial assets, the reason why your family will have to return to India, for example, or whatever country, those are the key factors they look at, plus travel history. Okay, so if your spouse is applying, make sure he has a job, make sure you have some assets together. So there's ties to home country, family ties, employment, financials, and if you have travel history, great. If not, then you can't do much about it at this point. Let's jump into YouTube. Adebayo Adebote is asking a question on YouTube. Hello, is work permit under the startup visa having any priority for applications from Nigeria? And what is its likely duration, and how will it impact spousal open work permit? Okay, here we go. The Nigerian applications are processed in Accra, Ghana. They're not prioritized the startup visa applications, but you can expect a processing time of 3 to 6 months. Okay, if you apply together with your open spousal work permit, they'll be processed together. If you applied separately, your open spousal work permit will take a very, 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 very long time. That's a lot of varies, everybody. But if you apply together, no, should be fine. Shrishti Srivastava. I hope I'm pronouncing these names right. I apologize if I don't. Hi, with such a huge processing time, do I need to resubmit police verification certificate or retake medical exam? Thanks. IRCC will tell you if they want it. During COVID, they're allowing some flexibility and not requesting new ones. If they do, you get a new one. If they don't, you don't go out and get a new one. Okay. Dr. Shadi Hassan is asking on YouTube, my score is 471. Should I wait for normal federal skilled worker express entry or try to apply for a study permit? It depends. Remember, Dr. Shadi Hassan, a study permit is not guaranteed approval. It's a temporary resident visa. The embassy will look at your travel history, your employment prospects, your country of residency, your financial resources, your ties to your home country. If you're in a country which is not your nationality, they will look at your home country compared to your residence. So you got to be careful. 471 is good points. Okay, so you do have a good chance. The study permit application, even if it's refused, will not affect your express entry. Okay, this is a huge mistake. Everybody thinks, oh, if you apply in express entry, I'm in the express entry pool, and then at the same time I'm in applying for a visitor visa, an open work permit, or study permit. Will that affect my express entry? No. Will that affect my study permit or visitor visa? No. Okay, that's a huge point. Remember, everybody. Villager Jat is at JATT. I hope I said that correctly. Is asking a question on YouTube. I applied for Canada tourist visa in March 2021. Biometrics also done on March 10th, but I did not receive decision till today. I raised my web form and received an acknowledgement. Minimum 8 to 10 months. Okay, minimum 6 months, by the way. So you right now you're at the 6 months point. So it could take anywhere from 6 to 10 months. Okay, so that's a reality with visitor visas. Even if you're a family member, like a spouse of a Canadian, it takes a long time. Mohammed Zakaria is asking, I applied for a business visa, same time, can I apply for my daughter meet in Canada? Yeah, I mean, your daughter can have a separate application. You can have a separate visitor visa application. I wouldn't recommend it. It depends on your case. I'd need more details about that. Villager Jet on YouTube is asking, should I reapply? Your opinion, please. You cannot reapply unless you have a decision, Villager Jet. Okay? By the way, where are you from? I'd like to know. Olamipo Amusa is asking, thank you. The previous application was refused, so I'm reapplying for the winter 2022 semester, but my course was changed. I hope it is still safe. Yes, you just put in the new letter of acceptance and you reapply with a proper study permit. Remember, a refusal, you need to be very careful when you're reapplying. If you get refused twice or 3 times, you can reapply, but you're dead meat. I apologize for the lingo, but you have no hope after the 3rd refusal. And Navdeep Shine Chopra is asking a question. Hello, spousal open work permit and kids application is pending with Abu Dhabi. Oh my God, Abu Dhabi is the worst embassy. In case they're watching, no, I didn't. No offense. Don't take it personal. Can we do something to expedite spouse on intracompany transfer work permit in Canada? That's a good question. It depends how you did the application. I would say it would take 8 months, 6 to 8 months. If it's taking longer, there's a problem. If you make sure your husband has, your spouse has included pay slips that he's working, he or she's working inside Canada already. Okay, I don't know how you applied. Yes, you are. Sam Aduke is asking, I want to full process and the mandatory documents needed for PR. Send us a message if you need our help. Otherwise, just, you can Google it. I can't really give you a document checklist on video right now. Sorry about that. LS on YouTube is asking, will the federal skilled worker draw start again this month since the election is now done? No, not this month. No way. People are speculating maybe December, November. I personally don't believe so. My personal thought, my prediction, my estimate is early next year. Not even January, maybe. Nobody knows. So this is all estimates. Nobody has a crystal ball. This year, I highly don't think so. Suman is asking a question. I have received my study permit in July, currently studying online. I'm still waiting for my husband's open work permit, which has taken over a month. Will it process faster if I travel to Canada? Yes, because you're outside of Canada. So technically, you're not a full-time student inside of Canada. If you look at the Immigration Refugee Protection Regulation, it says the spouse of an international full-time student who is in Canada is eligible to apply for an open work permit from either outside or inside Canada. You're outside studying online, that application for your spouse will be stuck forever until you're here. And then even it may take some time, but at least it'll be processed. Villager Jad is asking from Pakistan. Hello, Villager Jad from Pakistan, living and working in Saudi. Oh yeah. These applicants from GCC, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. because they look at your ties to Pakistan also, not just from Saudi. So it's tough. It's tough. Dr. Shadi Hassan, is there any prediction for the next FSW? I would say don't expect anything until early 2022, and I mean first quarter, not even the first month, okay? IRCC is way behind. In terms of points, I have no idea. I believe it will be high. I think it could be 480, 490 plus. That's my prediction, but I'm no guru here. I don't work for the government. And that's good news. I don't work for the government. Paul Newfac is asking, I applied for a PR since September 2020, and I'm still waiting for a response from IRCC. What am I supposed to do now? If you're overseas, your application has not been processed. Okay, so if you were overseas, you can't do much except web form once every 3-4 months. They did not process overseas PR application unless they were family class. Okay, Villager Jat, if 6 to 10 months is processing time for a tourist visa, sir, approximately. Yeah, no guarantees. There's people who've applied in 2020 and still not gotten it. But if you've got a good application, you've got your vaccinations in, then 6 to 10 months should be okay. Oh, I want your full info. Okay, Sam Aduka. Yeah, Sam, can you send? Go to our website, ingwe.ca. I'm going to type it here. And send us a direct message, mention you were on our YouTube live and then you have some questions, and that's how we'll connect. I don't really put my email address or phone number because this is public, this is live, right? Godfred Apia is asking, hi, with a master's degree in H33, what route do you recommend? Can I try visitor visa now? I'm in Germany with the UK traveling experience and other European countries. No, if your visitor visa, I wouldn't recommend it. If you're looking for permanent residency, I don't recommend applying for visitor. It depends on your nationality, your ties to Germany, and your ties to your home country, and how recent your UK travel experience was, and what your occupation is, and how much money and assets can you show. Atish Shiva is asking, I already applied for work permit and done my biometric in June. Still, I'm waiting from Israel. Okay, Atish Shiva, work permit applications overseas can take 6 to 8 months. Okay, so it depends. If you applied under the global talent stream, that's 14 days, but that's very specific. If you applied under a general work permit stream and you're the spouse of an international worker or student, it can take some time. If you just applied based on a job offer, you have to wait approximately 6 to 8 months. Okay, so if it gets processed faster, great. Don't blame me if it gets processed faster, but do expect the maximum time. LS, are there any particular reasons that they are withholding FSW draws? They didn't have the capacity, and they didn't want people to come in during COVID, during the pandemic, during the lockdown, during this whole COVID stuff. They didn't want more people to come in because the border control was communicating with the government and saying that, during the lockdown, which is most of 2020, early 2021, they did not want more people coming over. They weren't equipped. They weren't ready. They had to keep everything under control due to the pandemic. And now they're really behind with application processing. Okay. So the Villager Jat, sir, do you think Canada Embassy will ask updated bank statement if 6 to 10 months processing time? They can, they may not. See, it's going to be two ways. They're either going to refuse, be like, forget it, no. Or if they want to accept and they have doubts, they may ask. Okay, so it's a 50-50. Navdeep Shine Chopra is asking, adding ties with home country are must for GCC? Oh, yeah. Just added my payslip and bank statement of my UAE account only as we're residing here for 6 years. Yeah, it's a tough one. Applying for GCC, they're going to look at your travel history and your ties to your home country and your residency country. Employment, financial assets, family ties, and travel history. Sam Aduke. Okay, Sam, let me see if I can pin message and add per user in time. Okay, Sam, just send us an email here. Okay, I just posted info@ingwe.ca. Suman, thank you for the answer. To show proof of funds for study permit extension, Should the funds be in Canadian account or funds in Sri Lanka? It's fine. Canada is better, but it's okay if it's in Sri Lanka. Make sure you just have some account here, even if there's minimum money here, but maximum money in Sri Lanka. By the way, I've visited your country. I was in Colombo. We had an office there at one point, long time ago. LS is asking, is there any chance that IRCC stops Ferrosco worker stream completely just to promote PMP and other programs? No, in order for them to meet the 1 million newcomer target in 3 years, it'll be very difficult not to include FSW in there. We're going to quickly check Facebook and Instagram. Angeza and Angek, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Angek, it's 19. Good morning. The victory of liberals last night are good news for immigrants. Well, they were already in power. They were trying to get majority, but they didn't. So right now, immigration is going to just kind of go on autopilot. So what I was mentioning at the beginning of this session, if you want to listen in when we've uploaded our recording, is that apply, do whatever you want with immigration in the next 1 or 2 years. The sooner the better. Okay, because in the next elections, I don't think the liberals will be able to hold a minority government. So this election was kind of like an indicator for us for future elections. And the liberals are the most pro-immigration group out there. Again, folks, I have no political affiliations. I don't promote or support any specific groups. All I'm telling you is based on my own knowledge and what we've seen with the liberal government in terms of their immigration programs, which were very proactive. The conservatives have gained a lot of power, a lot of extra seats, which means that they're slowly gaining more power, maybe getting ready for the next election. Right now, with a minority government, the liberal government cannot do a lot of major changes. All they can do is kind of try to process as many applicants as they can with the existing immigration programs. There'll be slight changes. There's not going to be something immediately. Sam Aduke, Sam, just so you know, you can correspond with us, but if, I've got a whole team of people here in Toronto office, and unfortunately, they will charge, okay? They don't work for free. So if you want, send us an email. Website, please. Hold on. Here's our website. So I hope you see it, okay? Stops. Villager Jat is asking, kindly let me know the traveling dates are passed. Will it affect on decision? If traveling dates, potentially yes, but not that much, because usually they don't care about the travel. They look at their own processing, internal processing. They may ask for updated documents, but the fact that you said you wanted to travel 3 months ago won't affect the decision. On Facebook, lots of, should I apply for the visa under my family? Mary George. Mark Lawrence saying, we're here in Abu Dhabi, sir, just waiting so you can advise us what to do. You've already have an application, so you just have to follow up. Your agency has applied for you. Our applies temporary foreign worker for me and open spousal work permit. Open spousal work permit won't be processed unless the other spouse, if it's yourself, is working or studying full-time in Canada. For my wife, what's your advice for this, sir? What will I say to our agency watching? Okay. Well, basically, follow up with your agency. You already have an application in process. You need to follow up and just send web forms every 2 to 3 months. That's the only thing you can do because you've already applied. There's not much else you can do at this point. Jose Barnes, I have been only vaccinated like a month ago. So do I just send an update? Would it help? Yeah, if you do have double vaccinations on the approved vaccination list by the Canadian government, and you did not include it in your original application for, let's say, a visitor visa, then yes, please update and send it through web form, upload, take screenshots, because there is no confirmation email or page or acknowledgement immediately when you send a web form, okay? Yeah, it's hard to know much. Okay, Navdeep Shine Chopra is asking, how to know how much processing of the application if completed for SOW? P, any steps for processing or no transparency? No transparency, only final decision, only final decision. So visitor visas, work permits, these are temporary resident visas, and study permits. There's no transparency. It's just yes or no, right? It's very different than PR. Villagers, Jad saying, sir, thanks a lot. Really satisfied. Sir, in the future, I must get your services. When I applied, you was not known to me. Feeling sad. Why I don't know about you before. Don't worry, villagers. It's nice to have Jad. It's nice to have everybody and, collaborate. LS, how long will IRCC take approximately to get back to normality with processing times pre-COVID? We don't know, but I don't expect it to be back to normal anytime before summer of next year, unless they make some major internal changes, and it's a government, they're slow. Amira Shehata, how long is the processing for temporary foreign work permits with LMIA from Abu Dhabi here? 6 to 8 months, AOR. Okay, Mehmet, hi Mehmet, how are you? Nice to see you. Our office will be in touch with you regarding some educational programs to offer you to come to. Hi Anna, how are you? I met Anna Castro at the Brazilian picnic, on Sunday that we hosted with the Brazilian's consulate citizenship sector. So it's nice to see you online. Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of talking. And if I talk too fast, everybody, which I do, you just go back to our YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and you just rewind and you slow me down in slow motion. Okay, I'm one person right now, so I'm trying to answer all the questions. We're gonna take off, but we'll be back here at 5 p.m. We're here every Tuesday, everybody. Okay, it's a live session. It's not edited. There's no fancy special effects. There's no, cool stuff going around. It's just pure and simple, hardcore, raw question answer Canadian immigration. Okay, good morning, Anna. So that's what Tuesdays are. We're here 9 a.m. Eastern time, which is 4 p.m. in like Mexico, Peru, Colombia, Argentina. We're here again 5 p.m. today, and we're going to have our Spanish speaking colleague join us to do another question answer period. Okay, so we're going to sign off. Thanks for Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube viewers. There's a couple last questions. Hola, sir. AOR, January 19th, acknowledgement of permanent residency. When to expect the final COPR? It depends on which program you applied, inside or outside. If it's outside, it's going to take way longer. If it's inside, it should be better. Thank you so much for your time. Take care. God bless. Yeah, Ki Ohioma. Do you have any idea when they must start reissuing COPRs or stamp passports for federal skilled workers? Next year, probably, not this year. Can age affect your express entry qualification? Eligibility from points is different. Okay, so your eligibility is you have to get 67 out of 100 points, right? So it can affect it, but the major area is when you're in the express entry pool, you will lose points after the age of 29. How long should one work in Canada to show proof so that your sibling can claim the 15 points in their express entry? It's not how long you've worked. It's actually if they're a permanent resident or citizen. It's not that they worked, okay? Thank you, sir. If you like, may I know from nativity? Yeah, I'm originally Middle Eastern, so I'm from Iran, but our office works with over 25 different countries. Everybody: Brazil, Mexico, Turkey, Israel, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, China, Vietnam, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, you name it, Taiwan, US, UK, Australia. We work with everybody. My entire team here is 99% first generation immigrants, right? So we all immigrated here ourselves. We're still helping our families immigrate. So we put politics aside and we just help people here. That's what we do. Navdeep Shine Chopra, Ireland. Nice. Okay, guys, gotta take off. Thanks to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Sorry I wasn't able to answer everybody's questions. I hope I did. Again, we're back here 5 p.m. later today with my Spanish-speaking colleague. We're going to have a bilingual session. Sam Aduke, there is no required age for PR. You're either a dependent of a PR applicant or you're an adult. There's no actual age requirement. Take care. Got to take off. This is a 40-minute YouTube video. It's going to kill everybody. Thanks, Instagram. Take care. And YouTube, thanks, everybody. And remember, we're here to help you.